Good morning to all of you. We are going to start with your next topic of your BST, that is a binary search tree. In the last session, we have seen how to create a binary search tree, what are the properties of binary search tree, how you can insert, search, okay. The remaining operation of your binary search tree is your delete operation. Okay, so that is our today's topic. In delete operation, we have three cases, so we are going to see those cases. Okay, before that, a quick revision of what is a binary search tree. It has the following properties. So, can anyone list out what is the properties of binary search tree? Can anybody recall what are the properties of binary search tree?
Ma'am, no duplicacy.
Correct, absolutely right. There is no duplicacy, so no duplicates. Anything else? Anything else you can think of for binary search tree property? I mean, property is what? Some of the notions or say identifications through which you can come to know that this is a binary search tree and no other tree. So how can you come to know? What you will look?
Ma'am,
Correct.
yes, ma'am, left subtree is value is less than that value
Root
in
node.
root. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
and similarly from the right side, the right subtree, all the values are greater than your root nodes. Okay, so less than greater than relationships are defined for the data values. Fine. These are the constraints. Data on the left subtree less than your root. Data on the right subtree greater than your root. Okay, that's why I see those words are highlighted. I have not highlighted the full sentence. The words are highlighted so that it is easier to remember. And these are the constraints of sorting. Okay, how you are going to place your data in the binary search tree. Okay, it is fixed. I gave you one example also where 25 was the root node. All the nodes on the left side of 25 were less than 25. All the nodes on the right side of 25 were greater than 25. Okay, we had created one binary search tree out of this. I told you that the very first element, okay, will be your root element 45. So here 45 is your root element. Rest all the elements you are going to compare and try, you are going to form your binary search tree. Okay, we saw what were the operations in which search and insert we have seen along with the algorithms. Okay, search operation algorithm is already discussed, so I'm not going to discuss it again. It is a recursive function calls for search where you are searching a given data value by comparing it with the node data. Okay, fine. So that was the algorithm. We are using the concept of recursive function calls. If in this session some time is left, I will show you with the help of Excel sheet how that recursive function call is working. Okay. Right now we are not focusing on the coding part. Otherwise, I'll cover that in your lab sessions, individuals. Okay. Then we saw your insert operation, how you are going to insert, whether it is the very first node in your tree or whether it is your node at level 1 or at level 2 or at level 3. Okay, so we have seen that. Again, it is a recursive function call, and how you are doing that by comparing the new node value with the existing node values. Okay, if the new node value is less than your node values, then move it to the left side. If it is greater than your given node value, then move it to the right side. Okay, and that marks the end of your algorithm. Till here, it is seen. Any doubt? Anybody till here? Because next search operation we are going is for delete. So everybody on the same page till here? Okay. So we are starting with your delete operation now. Okay, so the very first case is delete the node that has no children. That means your leaf node. Okay, because leaf node is the only node which is having no children. So you are going, what is your target key? You can say the target is the child node. Fine, so you are going to delete that. So delete the node that has no children, or you can say the leaf node. Fine. Then case number two, delete the node that has one child. One child means there is a node present either on the left side or the right side, or you can say right subtree or left subtree. Okay, and we want to delete that node which is having that left one child. So that means we are going to delete the parent node. Okay, amongst the internal node, we are going to delete the parent node. Fine, and delete the node that has two children. That means either the parent node or the root node. Okay, so these are your three kinds of cases which you may come across in your BST delete operations. So how we are going to deal with it? See, this is a theory which you need to understand. Okay, a practical implementation is not there in the course. So even in your practicals, what you are doing with BST, you are going and creating a BST. Okay, and you are doing insertions. I mean, creation is itself another name is insertion. Okay, insertion of the nodes. Alright, so that is what you are doing in your practicals and your traversals. That is in order, pre order, post order. Okay, so this delete operations you need to understand the concept. Right? So case number one, delete node that has no children. Okay, that means your leaf node. Okay, now where is leaf node? At the end, right? At the level three. Suppose I have three levels, 0, 1, and 2. Okay, so my leaf node will be at level 2. Okay, and it does not have any children later. Alright, so it is very easy. Just go, I mean, use your search algorithm. Okay, search your target key and just go and free it up. So it is the easiest one that if you're trying to delete the leaf, okay, there won't be any problem. Why? Because the rest of the tree is going to remain same. It is still your BST. For example, okay, I don't have it, just wait. See, this was our yesterday's example. Okay, this tree was our yesterday's example. Now suppose I want to delete a node with no children. Which is that? Suppose this one. Okay, or this one, this side. Fine. If I want to go and delete this, I can delete it easily because even without this one's presence, okay, my tree is going to be my binary search tree. Okay, all the elements on the left are less than my 600. Okay, so there is no issue, no problem. The simplest deletion. Just go and search where is 750 located in your BST. Call your free function, okay, and free up this memory. So your work is done. Okay, so that is your case number one, the simplest one. All right. Now next case, delete node that has one child. Okay, now what we want to do? Now we want something. Suppose if I'm going and deleting, suppose this I deleted. Okay, I went and I'm just going to place it here. Alright, I deleted. So that was my case number one. Fine. Now case two. I want to delete a node. That means I want to delete 500. But that 500 is having one child. Let's say it is having left child here. Okay, then how am I going to delete this 500? See. Another simple situation it is. Okay, nothing to be worried about. suppose I'm taking an example here also. That node we want to delete has only one subtree. Okay, and the example which I'm going to show you, okay, is having a value 3 and it is having only one subtree. So see here, this is my example here. Okay, 3 is my parent node. Fine, and just let me take a pen here. See, this 3 is my target key. Okay, this I want to delete. Now see, it is having one subtree. Okay, even if there was just one, then also it was called as subtree. Okay, here it is having one subtree and 3 is the node, okay, which I want to delete. Then what I'm going to do to delete this 3, okay, what I am going to free up the memory which is occupied by this 3, okay, and I will extend this arrow to this one, or I can say I will link this 6 with 1. Okay, I will delete this first of all right, and then I'm going to link this 6 to 1. So still see all the numbers on the left are less than 6. Okay, and we have freed up this 3 from between. So what your statements are saying, to delete the node with one subtree, that means 3. Okay, we just link past the node. That means connect the parent node directly to the node subtree. Parent node of whom? Parent node of 3. Who is parent node of 3? 6. Okay, so 6 we are going to link past it to the subtree of 3. And then we are going to delete this. Okay, and it is always going to work, whether it is right subtree or left subtree. Fine. So if you go and delete that, then your structure would look something like this later on. Okay, after you go and delete 3, then your tree will be something like this. So see, in your root node you have 6. All the values on the left of 6 are less. Okay, so my property is there, still there. All the values on my right of 6 are greater. So still the property is valid. Got it? This case number 2? Yes or no? Did you get case number 2, students? Anybody has any doubts? Any questions? Okay. All right. Now we can go to case number 3. Okay, what is your case 3? Delete the node that has 2 children. Okay, so it can be a root node also because it is having left subtree, right subtree. Okay, it can be anywhere your internal parent node also having left subtree children and right subtree children. Okay, so in that case, what you are going to do? Let's see. Suppose this is your tree. Okay, this is the example tree I have again taken. 6 is the root node. 3 and 8 are siblings. Both of them are having their respective subtrees. Okay, now 6 is the node which I want to delete. Okay, my target node is what? 6. All right, then what I'm going to do? I'm not going to now free up this memory. In our previous case, what we did, we linked past the arrow and we freed up our target key. Freed up means memory was, totally freed up. There was no existence of that node. But in this case, we are not going to do that. Okay, what we are going to do? We are going to overwrite this 6. The value 6, we are going to overwrite. What do I mean by overwrite? We are going to update that value. Okay, so overwrite the value without freeing up the node. This node you are not going to free up. Okay, this root node you are not going to free up. You are just going to go and update the value of that root. Okay, so what will happen? You are going to just, see, there is a question mark there. right now. Alright, so I am not deleting the node by calling the free function. Okay, that free in the bracket root. No, that is not to be done in this case. What you are going to do, you are just going to replace the data value. Now, how you are going to replace that? How you will get to know that which data value you are going to replace? Okay, in the place. Now here you have to decide. You got the decision that you want to select the replacement of 6 from left subtree or from the right subtree. Okay, it is your choice, and according to that your tree will rebalance. Okay, your tree will rebalance. Now see, if you select from left subtree, fine, this is the value which we want to overwrite without freeing it up, without freeing up the node. All right, so if you go and let's say this is the example which I have written here, we want to get rid of 6. Okay, and we need to find some another value to be updated in place of 6 in that given node, and we have selected left subtree. Okay, from the left subtree I want to select a value. Now what you are going to do, you are going to select the value from either left side or right side, and whichever value you are selecting, okay, that particular value node you are going to free up. I'll tell you. See, if you are selecting the value from the left subtree, okay, this is the rule. Okay, I want everyone to note it down somewhere, either electronically or using your notes. Anywhere, note this down. In case number 3, delete node that has 2 children, BST. Okay, first point number 1, you are not going to delete the node, delete the target node. What you are going to do, you are going to just update its value, update its data path. Point number 2, with which value you can update, either the value selected from the right subtree or from the left subtree. The choice is yours. Okay, and according to that selection, you are going to rebalance your tree. All right, now if I, how can I select which value from left and which value from right? See, if you are going for the choice of selecting the value from the left subtree, okay, from the left side, then the maximum value, whichever is the maximum value on the left main subtree, okay, that will be the replacement. For example, here, see what I have written, what value we can move in the vacated node, okay, and have the binary search tree. Let's say if we want to choose that value x, and you are choosing it from the left subtree, okay, then everything should be smaller than that x, okay, and everything on its right side should be bigger than that x. Fine. So let's say we are choosing x from the left subtree. Now if you are choosing that x from the left subtree, the value should be the greatest value in your left subtree. Okay, or you can say the largest value. For example, this is my, the question mark is my node where I have to make the replacement. On my left side, the largest value is what? 3. Okay, because see, rest of them are 0, 1 and 2. So obviously 3 is the largest value. So what I'm going to do with this, I am going to replace the node which was containing value 6. Okay, I am going to replace that value 6 with 3. Okay, and this node containing 3, okay, this encircled node containing 3 will be freed up. Again I'm repeating, x value, the value of x, I am choosing from the left side. Now the rule says that if you are choosing the x value from the left side, from the left subtree, you have to select the largest value which is present in the left subtree. In the given example here, 3 is the largest value. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace this value 3 with the question mark there. Okay, so 3 goes up to the root node. Now the original node, the encircled node, okay, that node I am going to free up because ultimately I don't want one node there. Okay, so that this encircled node will be freed up. Okay, instead of left side, if I had chosen value from the right side, okay, from the right side, then the rule is what? If you are choosing from the right subtree, okay, you have to choose the smallest value. Which is the smallest value in the right subtree? Give me the answer. Smallest value in the right subtree.
7.
Exactly. So what you are going to do? You are going to replace this 7 with where you are going to replace the place where question mark is done. Okay. And if you replace it, then see, if you replace that 7, obviously 8 and 9 are automatically going to fall on the right side of 7. 3, 1, 0, 2 are automatically there on the left side of 7. Okay. If you go and replace 3, okay, then also 1, 0 and 2 are on the left of 3. Okay, 8, 7 and 9 are on the right of 3. So you are satisfying the property. Okay, so x is equals to 3 is guaranteed because everything on the left subtree is smaller than everything in the right subtree. Fine. So if we go and delete, what you need to do now? Put 3 in that question mark and delete the current position of your 3. Okay, so that is what you need to do. So this is how the end result will look like. 3 is now the root node, okay, with 1 and 8 as its child nodes. Again, that 1 and 8 are having the subtrees 0, 2, 7, 9 respectively. Got it? Did you get the concept? For delete the node that has 2 children. Okay. Now there is some more theory to understand in this. Like some of you may think that in what is the general algorithm? Okay, the general algorithm is to delete n that has 2 subtrees. Okay, replace the value of n with either the largest value in the left subtree or the smallest value on the right subtree. Okay, either of them, and then delete the node with the largest value from its left subtree. That means the original place of that node. Okay, so what we did, if you observe here, see, we are deleting this node. Okay, we are freeing up this node. So if you go and count here, how many nodes you can see in the picture? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. But after deletion, okay, after replacing and then deleting the node and all, after doing that whole process, sorry. After doing that whole process, how many nodes can you see in total? 3, 3, 6, and 1, 7. Okay, so one node is deleted. Alright, that is how this deletion case is happening. Okay, so this is the general algorithm. In general, what you can say about it. Right? Again, there is a note. The largest value in left subtree, okay, it is never going to have 2 subtrees. Otherwise, it won't be the largest one. For example, what this statement is trying to tell you. See, the largest value in left subtree, which is that 3, okay, will never have 2 subtrees. See, it is only having one left subtree. It is not having any right subtree. If it would having right subtree, suppose there was a number 4 here. Okay, then 3 would never be the replacement, because now largest value on left side is what? 4. Okay, so that is what the statement is telling you. All right, that if you are choosing the largest value from the left subtree, it is never going to have 2 subtrees. Why? Because if it does have a right subtree, then this particular value won't be the largest value anymore. Okay, similarly for the right subtree also this case is true. Okay, because see, what is the rule for the right subtree? The value, it should be the smallest one. Okay, so if we choose that 7 is the smallest one, okay, then 7 can, this 7 can, cannot have a left subtree, because then if it is having, suppose 6 is there, okay, then 7 would be no more the smallest value, 6 will be the smallest value. Okay, so this is the note that is to be kept in mind. Fine, I hope no doubt here. Any questions on this slide? No, Vidhi. Anybody else having any questions? Okay, I suppose we can move forward then. Now, how to find the smallest and largest node? Okay, again there is an algorithm for it. Find how you can find it. See, this is also the concept of understanding. Okay, so understand the algorithm. How it is happening. First of all, you have to check your tree exists. Okay, so if tree is equal to null, or tree of left is equal to null. See, we know that it is BST. So all the smallest value will be on the left side only. Okay, the smallest value can never be on the right side, because why? Because this is a BST. Property of BST says all the values on left side of the root will be the smallest. Okay, so always your control is going to go on the left in the case of finding the smallest node. So the very first condition which you need to check is that your tree exists. And if your tree is equal to null, that means tree does not exist. So you are just going to return tree. What do I mean by return tree? You are going to return null. Okay, because ultimately tree is a pointer. The pointer is pointing to null. So that is what this return tree means. Okay, so you are going to return null. Even in the case if tree of left is equal to null. Okay, in that case also you are going to return null value. Okay, what if this step 1 is false? Then else go for a recursive function call. Find the smallest value. And now what is the address? The address which is stored in tree of left. Okay. This is the smallest algorithm. What things are happening? See, you will start from your root node. Okay, so when you are calling this function for the very first time, okay, find the smallest node from main function which is called. What is the value, or say the pointer that is passed? The 6. Okay, the memory address stored by this root node. Suppose this root node is having memory address, let's say 50. Okay, so here from your main function 50 will be passed. Okay, now we know that this is represented in a linked list manner. Okay, I have an Excel. Okay, wait, just have a look here. From the very first call, this 4501 will be passed. Okay, so find the smallest node and then root node is going to pass. So where the control is going to go? Here. Okay, at this particular node 4501. That pointer can access left side also, it can access right side also, it can access data also. Okay, now what it is going to check? Tree is equals to null? No. Tree of left equal to null? Is it containing null value? No. So it is going to go to this else part. Now in this else part, what it is going to pass? Again a recursive function call with the value 4505 now. Okay, so that pointer recursively reaches here. It can access data part, left part and right part of this 4505. Again it will check tree is equals to null. No, the pointer is having value 4505. Does that pointer is having left value as null? No, it is not having that. So it is going to come to the else part again. Again a recursive function call for the same function. Okay, now the value which is passed, pointer or memory address passed is what? 4600. Okay, so again here 4600, the control will come here. Now it is going to check 3 is equals to null. No, it is having value here 4600. Tree of left is null. Yes, because see here it is OR condition. Okay, either this or this. So is tree of left is having null condition? Yes. Then what I need to do? I need to return this whole tree. I mean this whole node. Okay. And whatever I want to do with that node, I can do it further. Now what is our aim? We want to find the smallest node. So obviously we are going to print the data part. Because what I'm doing, I'm returning this whole memory address by the pointer. Okay. And obviously we have reached the smallest node. Fine. Because we know that in our BST, the smallest node will be the leftmost with no children. Fine. So 400 will be returned. Did you get it? Yes or no? Did you get it or not? Algorithm. Okay. In similar manner, you got to find the largest one. Okay. We found out what is the smallest node here. Okay. In the similar manner, in similar fashion, here the smallest node is 0. Okay. So the end result will come as 0. Okay. In similar fashion, you have to find the largest node. Okay. Now in the largest node, the only changes will be tree of right. Rest everything is going to remain same. Okay. So again, you are going to check if tree is equals to null or tree of right now is equal to null. Then what you are going to do? Then return tree. Okay. That means return that particular node. You can do whatever with that node afterwards. You want to print that node is empty. Okay, fine. Print that. You can print the root, the node value is this. Okay, fine. Do that. So you are going to return that node. Okay. If this is not the condition, then step 2, go for the recursive function call. Find the largest node by passing the memory address which is present on tree of right. Okay, so the similar procedure, just as you have done for the left side, the same thing you are going to do for the right side. Again, from the main function, the first call will be made for finding the largest node. Okay, from your main function. And what you are passing in the parameter, this root pointer. Root pointer is pointing to this node. Okay, it is going to check. The pointer is pointing to any null address? No, it is having value 4501. Does the pointer 4501 right part is null? No, it is having the value 4510. So I need to make a recursive function call. So it is going to go to this else part. Okay, again the same function is getting called. Now with the memory address 4510. Okay, because it is tree right. Alright, now 4510. So control comes reaches here with the pointer. Now it is going to see. Pointer is pointing to any null address? No, it is having 4501 as the address. Does that 4501 pointer pointing to the null value, the right pointer? Yes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to return that whole pointer only. Now do whatever you want to do. So now what we want 750 to be printed because that is our ultimate aim. Okay, that the largest value should be printed, and obviously 750 is the largest value. Okay, so that is what you are going to do. So in this case, if you take the same example which we have taken so far for your delete cases, the largest value will be what? Your 9. Okay, so the control is going to go till 9, iterating and recursively calling the same function. Okay, clear till here, everybody? Any doubt? Any doubt, students? Okay, till here, till this slide is your mid-sem 2 course. Just to be very specific, I guess it is slide number 49. Okay, in this, yeah, it is slide number 49. Okay, till here is your mid-sem course from this unit. Okay, fine, students. I will upload this PPT today. There will be, some extra topics also, which we are going to see in future. Okay, total is 120 slides, but do not worry, you just have to work till 49. Okay, or most probably I'll just convert it into PDF till 49 and I'll upload. Either of the one thing I'll do. Okay, because then again I don't want to mess up any animations which are kept before. Okay, otherwise you won't find it familiar. That's why. And breaking the PPT does mess up some of the animations. So I'm not in much favor of breaking the PPT into two. Clear, students? Any doubt till here in your BSc? With this, we are also finishing the topic of your binary search tree also. Okay. Does any one of you have any idea of how your recursive function calls are working? Yes, anybody? Do you know how your recursive function calls are working? In theory, practically I will show you, but in theory, do you know how the recursive function calls are working? Yes or no? Yes, true. But till what condition? It is similar to the iteration. If it is calling it again and again, then iterative functions are also like that. They are also calling them again and again. There is a difference between iterative function and recursive function. Ever heard about base case in your recursive functions? In your unit number 2, when we were covering recursive functions before Tower of Hanoi. Yep, that is right. Until the user-defined condition. See, just to recall for you guys, in your unit number 2, before covering Tower of Hanoi, we have covered recursive functions, okay, which is also the part of your mid-sem 2 syllabus. So please refer to it again. We have discussed that before discussing Tower of Hanoi. Okay, see, in your recursive function calls, there are two cases. Okay, one is the base case and one is the recursive case. Now, what is the purpose of recursive case? it should simplify, okay, it should simplify the calling till it reaches the base case. Once it reaches the base case, it is going to backtrack. Backtrack means it is going to go back to that function from where it was called, okay, from where it was originally called. Let's take the example of BST here. See, this is one user defined function. Don't get scared, it is very easy. Just let me, I'll create one new file only, wait. Okay, suppose I want to create a BST. Okay, so program for, see, I'm writing controlled BST. Okay, just to differentiate. Program for user control BST. Okay, so user has to control which node is going on left side and which node is going on right side. Ideally, your BST does not work like this. Okay, and in your practical also, we are going to perform practical in such a manner that this program is going to do that work, that the inserted data is going to go on the left side, or it should go on the right side. Okay, but right now, as it is the very initial stage for you to understand BST, so we are going to keep that control in our hands. Okay, now first go and declare your libraries. So hash include stdioh. Okay, and because we are going to deal with the dynamic memory allocation, so include stdlib.h. Fine. Now create the structure of the node. Just a minute. Fine. So what you are going to do? Struct node, 2 pointers, 1 data part. Okay. Struct node pointer left, integer data. Struct node pointer right. Okay, so structure of the node clear, done. Now what I need? Variables, pointer variables. Okay, so what are those pointer variables? Your struct node pointer root equal to 0 right now. Okay, and your struct node pointer new node to create the nodes. Okay, this is what I want, or this is what I'm going to need. Fine. Now your void main. See, I am demonstrating you how your recursive function calls are working. Okay. Struct node root is taken. Okay. Now this root is going to call one user defined function called create. Okay. So this root value is going to get the memory address of the root. Alright, and then you can go and do your pre-order, okay, by passing the root value, or you can do your post order again by passing the root value, okay, or your in orders. Okay, now what this root create function is going to have? This create function, okay, is going to return you what? The memory address, okay, or say the pointer. So the type of this is going to be struct node, okay, pointer create, because what we are going to return, we are going to return the node, okay, and this node is what? The memory address. Okay, that's why the type of this user defined function is struct node. All right. Now let's say we are taking one integer x. Okay, I'll tell you why. Now first of all, new node is already there, okay, in my pointer variable. So go and allocate the memory. So new node is equals to struct node pointer malloc size of struct node. Okay, I'm not explaining what this new node is going to contain. Okay, you guys are very well aware of it. Now you have to take the data part. All right, so this data part, write your printf statements. Fine, and write your scanf. %d. Okay, and you can directly store it either in x or a new node x. Okay, so new node data part, and what we are going to do, we are going to store this. Okay, we are going to store this new node data into x. So x is equals to new node data. Okay, now we want our base condition. Okay, because this create is going to get called recursively, but there should be one base condition. So if my x is equal 0, so if user enters that I don't want to enter any data, I don't want to create any child node, then what you are going to return? You are going to return 0. That means null value. Okay, so what is this? This is your base case. Okay, from here this recursive function will get terminated. Okay, now we have to go and do our recursive function calls. Okay, for the left side and right side. So again, your printf statement. See, I'm writing it in short. Okay, printf statement. What you are going to write? Enter the left child. Okay, of whatever value you are giving it for the new node. Fine, so you are going to ask for the left child. Okay, and instead of your scanf here, okay, instead of your scanf, what you are going to do, you are going to access new node left pointer, then this one. Okay, new node left pointer, and there you are going to again call your create function. So again these steps will be loaded. Okay, again a new allocation will be happening. Again you are going to give the data. Okay, if you don't give data as 0, then again it is going to go on its left side. Okay, so what we are doing, we are going and filling up first all the left sides. Okay, fine. If you go and give 0, okay, then this particular create function will get terminated. Okay, and it will go back again to its main called function. Okay, so similarly to your left child, you are going to do the same thing for your right child also. Okay, and here you are going to access now the right side. Okay, you are going to access your right side, and as I said, at the end, what you are going to return? You are going to return your new node. Okay, this is the actual function. Now if I give numbers, okay, line numbers to this, okay, it is going to look something like this. See here also I have done the same thing. Okay, I have called this create function from my main. All right, and see, there is a create function. Okay, the user defined function going to return you some memory address, and I'm giving numbers 1 2 3 4 5 6. wherever I have written the code, okay, so till 13 line of code, all right, 13 line of code in this function. Now see, have a look here. When I call this create function, okay, so that is the first call. So what will happen inside my memory? All these statements, all these 13 statements will be loaded in the stack. Okay, one by one execution will start happening. First line will execute it, so that is my integer x. Okay, then second line will get executed. That means my allocation of my memory for the new node. Okay, then in the fourth I'm printing that enter the data. In the fifth step, I'm entering the data. Okay, so I'm denoting it with data 1. Now, because it is 1, okay, because I have given some value, obviously the if loop, that is x equals 0 and return 0, is not going to work. Okay, so no termination. Fine. So it is going to go to the 10th line where I'm asking enter the left child. And I'm calling the create function again. So see, here again create function second time is getting called. So that's why it is written create 2. These 3 lines of code are still remaining, okay, from the initial function call 1. These 3 lines are still remaining. They are not yet executed. Before executing that only, you are again calling this create function. So again inside your memory, all these 13 lines of code is loaded. Again, what you are doing? You are creating your new node. Let's say the memory it got is 4505. Okay, you entered the data for that. So second data. Again, as you have entered some value other than 0, so it is not getting terminated. It is reaching the part where it is asking enter the left child. Okay, and the left pointer you are again calling the create function. So again these 3 lines of code are left to be executed. Okay, before executing that you are going and creating, you are calling your create number 3. Again the same thing happens. Okay, now here you are giving left 0. For example, the data which you gave, okay, you are giving it as 0. All right, then it is a terminating condition. That is our base case. So the control will go back to the called function, that is here. What it is going to return here? The memory address. Okay, so 4600 is here. Now these 3 will get executed. Okay, now again on the right side you are calling this function, because see you have written here, no, right, no, new node, right, create. Okay, so we are finished with all the left child. Now we are going to go on the right side. Okay, so this is how you are creating. Got it? You are going for recursive function calls and this is how it is returning. Everybody got it or not? You will see this in practical also, so do not worry. If 50% is only there in went inside your minds, then also it's okay. Fine. So we are going to keep it till here. Thank you all for attending the session. BD students 1 to 13, quickly write your numbers in the chat. Okay. AI 1 to 10, quick. (11 to 20). 21 to 30. 31 to 40. 41 to 50. 53 to 60. 61 to 75. 'Okay.